0-2 are the Buckeyes in games on New Year's Eve, for whatever that was worth. Early on, the Canes, this play design was nasty. Carson Beck, Mark Fletcher Jr., they're going to run it? No, they slip him out into the flat, and the Canes lead 7-0. For the last 2 years, I've joked, but not really joked. I mean, throw it to 4. That's why. There goes Jeremiah Smith. Julian Sand hits him for a gain of 59. At that point, they had like 9 yards of offense. In the blink of an eye, they got a lot more. And then this, I think I audibly screamed watching it in the room upstairs. Keontae Scott jumps it, and the Canes are up 14-0. Buckeyes haven't been down 2 touchdowns since Michigan in 2022. And Bain came in free, and Scott gets the pick, and Day wondering, what are we doing? Ohio State, next drive, look out! And here, Brandon Inniss, I beg your pardon, that's Akeem Mesidor who gets there with 2 sacks in the first half, which is already the most in a game this season. And then it's Brandon Inniss in a moment that's going to be on the receiving end here on a 3rd and 3. And this was after Ohio State got a punt at their 1. And they found a little offensive rhythm here, and at least they gave themselves a chance to get on the board. Jaden Fielding's kick is left all the way. And so despite the fact that the Buckeyes had a little bit of a drive, they're not able to dent the scoreboard. However, they come out of the locker room, and Sand, with conviction, steps back, delivers a dart to Smith, who takes a shot but hangs on. Then it's Bo Jackson spinning into the end zone, and Ohio State with a very strong response out of the locker room. It's 14-7. You wondered what kind of answer might Miami have to that. Here, Malachi Toney has it knocked out of his hands. Then he gets absolutely blasted after he picks it up. Remember, he had that big fumble late in the game in College Station, but then had the jet sweep for the touchdown. Very talented freshman, able to pick that up, and they get a field goal to make it 17-7. Throw it to 4. That's Smith. Gain of 22. It's 17-7. The Buckeyes are driving. 4th quarter, 4th and 2. Who else? Smith. The flag's on the Canes, and 4 goes for 6. And Ohio State, with an army in the building, is roaring, and they are within 3. About 3 minutes left in the game after Ohio State got the ball, had a chance to take the lead if they could go on a drive, and they couldn't. And now the Canes start pounding the rock. That's Shamar Brown with a gain of 13. They're driving. Here's that C.J. Daniels conversion that I just asked Beck about. Michael Irvin just going wild with Ray Lewis. And this Buckeye defense gives up about 80 a game on the ground. They gave up 150 in this one. That time they're pretty much letting Brown score because they were going to run out of time if they didn't. Now Sand under pressure again. Jacoby Thomas with the pick that seals it, and fittingly, it's the defense for the U and Coach Cristobal that powers them on to yet another game. It will be against either Georgia or Ole Miss. Greg McElroy will be on that call tomorrow night in the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. Joins us now. And Greg, anywhere you want to go based on what we just saw, the way it started, the way it ended, what most impressed you about what Miami did tonight?
You know, Scott, that was just such an enjoyable football game to watch, was it not? It felt in many ways like a throwback with all the new wrinkles that we see in modern offense. It were times where it's like you could just take the receivers and the quarterbacks off the field and let's let them just scrum right there in the middle. And then you see some nuance, the touchdown on the throw to the left, the beautiful play design that you just described. It was a beautiful football game, perfectly executed by the Miami Hurricanes. They were the better team from start to finish. And without that sudden surge there, end of half situation for Ohio State, early 3rd quarter, early 4th quarter, outside of about 15 minutes of action, it was all Hurricanes tonight. And it really, frankly, might not have been even as close as the final score would indicate if not for the couple self-inflicted mistakes that the Hurricanes had throughout the game.
Maybe, but at some point early in the game, I tweeted out something that I realized went over the heads of a lot of our younger viewers. I said it's like Hagler-Hearns round 1. If you don't know, Google it. It's the most furious 3 rounds of boxing you'll ever see. But to make another boxing analogy, Greg, I felt like it was kind of a standing 8 count that Ohio State delivered, right? They've got 14 straight. They get the ball back. Yeah. And then the Canes, who hadn't really got to say and did. I was as impressed with their ability to withstand Ohio State's second half surge and then land their own knockout blow as anything else. Do you share that kind of viewpoint?
I do to an extent. I also think the way that Miami approached the second half, a lot of soft zone coverage, giving up underneath throws, playing with 2 high safeties. Clearly, they were scared to death of what those receivers can do on the deep ball. Hey, let's not let them go 75 and make this a 1-score game in one play. So they wanted to kind of keep it in front of them, and that allowed Ohio State to create a little offensive momentum. And then the run game got going a little bit as well. So I think once Miami said, all right, enough of this, the way we got this lead is by being aggressive, by playing defense, not being afraid to play a little man on the outside, not playing the soft coverage, get up in their face. Let's rush the quarterback. Let's blitz the linebackers. Let's try to isolate running backs in protection. That's when they kind of took back over momentum from the Buckeyes. So I think when they look back at it, they could probably say, hey, we don't need to play scared. Like, we got a lead. Let's continue to be the aggressor, keep the pedal pressed. And that might be something we see from them in the next round or the next round, because I think they got a bit conservative there at the beginning of the second half.
Here's Ryan Day on what went wrong tonight against Miami.
You know, we got obviously got a team of guys that you know, have poured a lot into this program, and you know, some guys, this will be their last game as Buckeyes, and so it's going to hurt and sting, and so you know, I want to make sure that they still know how much we appreciate everything they do and everything they've done for this program. But it hurts right now, and it hurts for those guys, and so you know, they put a lot of work and time into this thing. So you know, it's our job as coaches to make sure that, you know, we figure out ways to put them in a situation to be successful. So you know, at the end of the day, it's our responsibility to do that, and we got to take a hard look at that and figure out what it is that we got to get done to get better.
With Lorenzo, is it same shoulder? Like, has that been a nagging thing for him this season?
He's been dealing with a shoulder all season.
Don't do a follow, because our stenographers need to hear that question. Next one be on the left.
Austin Ward, 97.1 The Fan. Ryan, when it was like at the end of October, maybe early November, you talked about pushing the gas pedal when that time came. I know that that's maybe making too much of one comment. Was there something about the way that this offense was constructed that didn't allow you to do that the way you might have envisioned?
No, I don't think so. I think you saw us play with a little bit of tempo today, but you know, when you're not getting first downs early on, you know, you got to make sure you're getting into the right plays and doing what you need to do to get first downs. And you know, I think that some of that stuff did give us a little bit of juice in the second half when we needed to. I thought that gave us an advantage at times in the game, but it wasn't done near good enough. So all things that we'll make sure we look at. You know.
It was an Ohio State team that came into Indy unbeaten. They lose to Indiana in that game, and now they lose here. So the season ends on a 2-game losing streak. And oddly, teams who've had a bye now 0-5. Greg, I don't know. Is there anything to be made of that? It's a very small sample size. Last year's seedings were kind of messed up. I think we all know in retrospect, because they changed it a year later. But do you have any theory on that?
I do, Scott. And when we look at all these games, whether it's the NFL postseason, or really any postseason environment, the professional leagues are now in college, the margins are so outrageously thin, especially with how the rosters have kind of been spread out. So you look at a team last year like Notre Dame that made a run. How'd they make a run? They did the little things, right? They forced mistakes. They forced turnovers. They rushed the quarterback. They junked up the game plan for the opposing offense. They disrupted rhythm. They played ball control. Like, that's kind of what wins. The margins are so thin that the little things are what win in the postseason. Run fits, tackling, making sure things are sorted with your protection, making sure your offensive line is working with great continuity. And in the span of 2 weeks, you can lose that very quickly. Imagine the span of 4 weeks since your last time out. So I think we need to, at some point, reevaluate where we're at with the current format. I know with 12, there's no way of avoiding buys, but right now you are putting the top 4 teams at a slight disadvantage when looking at the rust that they could accumulate over the course of nearly a month.
And welcome Coach Mario Cristobal to the show. Mario, it's Scott Van Pelt. Thank you for taking a minute in the midst of this celebration to throw on the headset, man. We were just talking about your proud past. but saying the Canes aren't back. As you said, they're here right now. As you stand there right now off this victory, what are you most proud of your group?
Well, first of all, Scott, thanks for having me on. Proud of just flat out real deal resiliency. I guess these guys, I'm pretty difficult to work with, and we throw a lot of these guys, and they totally just get after it, man. They're all about the physicality and the violence that comes with football, and we've practiced at it, and we're getting better at it, and we still have a long ways to go, but certainly a lot of progress in the last couple of, I'd say the last 5-6 games or so, and looking forward to getting better and having an opportunity here in about a week or so.
Coach, from the very beginning, you said what you wanted was physicality, violence, ferocity. We saw it. But then Ohio State, as great teams do, they responded like a championship team. And after your guys got a little bit of taste of maybe blood in their mouth, for them to respond as they did with the stop and then the physical drive where you run it down the field, that's exactly what, as a coach, you would hope to see. You can't do it any better than that, could you?
Well, they're a great team, and they have elite talent, elite coaching, great skill and whatnot. And, one of the things we pointed at, of course, we talked about being physical and playing with relentless effort. But in a game like this, you also have to be willing to take the hits, brother, and get right back up. I mean, it just comes with it. And if you're willing to do that and just keep showing up and keep coming in the fourth quarter, you're going to give yourself a great opportunity. And hats off to them, first and foremost, Coach Day and his team. Awesome. But hats off to our guys for being some tough-ass sons of bitches.
Well, I wouldn't argue with that choice of words because it applies to your group, man. They're tough as nails. And I was talking, Mario. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I mean, I know you got a party to get to. I have one last sort of overarching thought. Like when you're a franchise or a program, I should say, that has proud history, and I'm talking Notre Dame, Texas, Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan, the U, and you want to honor your past, and you want to acknowledge who you've been, but you want to be in the present right now and forge your own identity. How tricky is it to embrace who you were while wanting your guys to have the stage and the shine to themselves because they're the ones that are earning it right now?
Yeah, that's a great question. That was really probably one of the biggest challenges when, when we got back to the University of Miami, people expected for us to set foot on campus and boom, championships were going to happen. And honestly, I'd been away for 20-plus years, and I would cringe and just kind of lose my mind whenever I'd hear that. The U is back, the U is back, the U is back. Back to what? I mean, I was a nobody on a team of unbelievable players and unbelievable coach, and I learned so much from them, and I love them. I mean, I'm back here because of them. But college football has changed, and going away and learning under guys like Coach Saban, Coach Schiano, learned so much that we have to, take programs forward with all the changes and the never-ending change in the landscape. So always honor the past. These guys, you see a bunch of them on the sideline today. We should have put a couple of them in the game, But you have to always do that, but never, ever, ever mess with the mindset of your players. Say, hey, we have to go back to what these guys did. We actually have to do it better and go forward. And we're progressing. We've had a lot of progress, but, brother, we got a lot of work to do, and we're looking forward to getting to it.
All anybody wants this time of year is 60 more minutes, and you've got at least that. So between now and then, you got a new year to ring in with your guys. Go do that and celebrate. I appreciate you taking a minute in the midst of that to visit with me, Mario. Happy New Year. Congratulations.
Scott, I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for having me, and Happy New Year.
Carson Beck has thrown on the headset down in Jerry World after the victory and joins us. Carson, Scott Van Pelt, we're live on the air now after you and I were visiting during the break. Congratulations on the victory, man. You guys just knock off the reigning champs. It was kind of like a Rocky fight, like you're landing heavyweight blows, and then they maybe have your guys on the ropes. And in the end, you got the belt on for the moment anyway. How do you just describe what the last 3 hours of your life were like, man?
It's been unbelievable. I mean, that's a really good football team that we just played against. That defense has, there's players at every single position, and they're really, really, really talented. So, so much props to Ohio State and, the team and the defense that they are. But, our guys came out today, and we played our butt off on defense, on offense, on special teams. All three phases were really rolling, and we were able to pull out the dub.
So much talk in the offseason, Carson, about you coming down there to play quarterback. I get it. But with respect to you and your talented guys that you throw it to and hand it to, the fellas up front set the tone and create the ability for you guys to do so much of what you do. How much props should the O-line get for what you all were able to do tonight, Carson?
Oh, man, I say this all the time, but I mean, the trenches lead this team on offense and on defense. Obviously, on the offensive side of the ball, that O-line, they make this train roll, baby. And honestly, tonight they played almost perfect. And honestly, in my eyes, they did play perfect, right? We ran the ball well. The pass protection was perfect. They're just physical specimens, and they play so disciplined and well together. The chemistry is there. They have a great coach, and like I said, they lead this team. They lead this offense.
3rd and 4 late after you guys have run it down the field. I love the fact that they let you make a throw to C.J. Daniels, and no play in the game is bigger than that. You told Taylor afterwards you just blacked out. Maybe you've had some time to think about, the play call comes in. It's not a difficult throw necessarily, but it's a high-stakes throw. What about that moment do you feel like, all right, I'm built for exactly what I'm asked to do here?
Yeah, it's a call that we've practiced a bunch. We practiced a lot throughout the week, and
sure.
They gave us a man look on defense, and you just got to trust your guys, and the big moments you got to deliver, and that's what we were able to do as an offense.
Look, when you make a move like you made, it's risky to a degree, and now it's like, all right, at minimum you've made it to the semis. Just for you personally, I realize it's about the team, but for you personally, how satisfying is it to have everything work the way it has to this point?
It's been amazing. I'm so grateful and so thankful for this team, these guys, my teammates, the coaches. The way that we've persevered and fought through adversity this entire year, nothing has been easy about this year. We've been doubted, we've been counted out, and countless time and time again, we come back and we fight and we push and we work, and we just get it done when it matters. So again, I'm so proud of this team, and so proud of the way that we've been able to fight adversity and the way that we came out tonight and we're able to seal this dub.
You can guess what kind of conversation there'll be in advance of your next game, given who you might be facing. I see a smile on your face. Just how do you even process what look, if it's Ole Miss, it's Ole Miss. But given what's next, what are your initial thoughts on what that next game could be like for you?
Yeah, man, it's hard. When you look at, the college football playoff bracket came out, it's hard not to look forward to the games.
Right.
You look at the bracket, you look at the way that things could pan out, and now obviously, having beat Texas A&M and now having beat Ohio State and, earning the right to go play out in Arizona in the semifinals, it's hard not to, look forward to that and, see the two teams that we could end up playing. So I'm super excited for this team and the opportunity to play in the semifinals, and whichever team, is able to win that game, we'll go in and prepare and we'll make the most of it.
Okay. All right. But it's fair to say the smile on your face is the answer to the question. I think we can all connect the dots on that. Let me just close with this, and we'll move out of that mess. I'm not trying to get you in trouble tonight. One last thought about your defense. You go up against them every single day, which must be a pain in the ass because, man,
it's a pain.
That's a rugged bunch. What would you say about that side of the football for the Canes?
They've been unbelievable this year. They've kept us in a lot of games. They've really fueled the fire and made some huge plays. You see Keontae, gosh, he's really, really, really good, man. He makes a huge play, gets the pick six, and honestly just kind of fuels all the momentum in our way. So having to practice against them every single day is absolute hell, by the way. You got Ruben Bain on the edge. You got Akeem Mesidor on the edge. Those backers are running sideline to sideline. Those DBs are all over the field. They're making plays on the ball. So, again, we continue to – it's the iron sharpens iron. And, again, they've really led this team this entire year.
All right, I'm going to stop wearing you. I'll let you get to the party because I'm sure there's one somewhere where the Canes are celebrating. Congratulations, Carson, on a gigantic victory, and good luck in that next game, whoever it might be against. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Dusty, you talked about things that have stood up, two things that have kind of always been part of football, toughness and physicality, right? I'm going to give you two more that have never changed. If you can run the ball and if you can play defense this time of year, you win football games. Miami did. I said a moment ago that there was a ferocity to that defense in the first half that was stunning to see, but it seemed like Ohio State had found their legs. They had the ball and a chance to take the lead, and then Miami's defense again stood tall and they put it to bed via the run game. What most impressed you about what you just witnessed out of the Canes?
I just think it's the toughness, the relentlessness of this football team. Like you said, you put it perfectly. They jumped out in this football game, and they brought the fight to Ohio State. And Ohio State, like a champ, they came back, and they came back swinging. They had taken all the momentum in the game. But this defense, Corey Heatherman deserves so much credit. He's a finalist for the Broyles Award. He should win it. From where this defense was last year to where they are now, we talk about the line of scrimmage, but it's Keontae Scott, right? It's Jacoby Thomas, and it's the plays that they're making and the physicality they're playing with. They stepped up when they had to tonight, Scott. And then even after they get that stop, that final drive, wasn't that final drive just kind of reminiscent of what Mario Cristobal has built there at Coral Gables? They line up, they run the football right down Ohio State's throat. One of the best rush defenses in the country, and they lined up and continued to run it. They gave it to 4, Mark Fletcher. They gave it to 6, Shamar Brown, and they iced this game away. Just an incredible performance from Miami. When Mario Cristobal left Oregon and he went back to his alma mater, this is what he envisioned. And he's built this football team the right way, not just to win now, not just to win this year, but to continue to win and be one of the real players at the top of college football.
Dusty, I was blown away by Ohio State, by Miami, I beg your pardon, initially. But then Ohio State shows its championship pedigree with their ability to come out of the locker room in the second half, go right down and score, then you get it, throw it to 4. That's what we've been joking about for years, but why wouldn't you? And now you've got the ball with a chance to grab the lead, and that's where Ohio State, with all the momentum on their side and the wind in their sails, runs into the teeth of Miami, who stands back up and bows up. That impressed the hell out of me, just their ability then, after they get kind of socked in the mouth, to land what ultimately was the knockout blow. Did you sense that the Canes were reeling to a degree with so much red in that building and the Tide seemingly on the side of the reigning champs?
100%. They were reeling. They were on their heels. They were backpedaling. And they were no longer the aggressor. Ohio State had taken the fight to them. And you're exactly right. To show that resiliency, to be able to make that stand, force that punt, and get the football back and put the game away, that was remarkable. And who was it? It was 4. We keep saying 4, but it was 4 Ruben Bain, right?
Correct.
He comes off the edge, he bends, he turns, he draws that holding penalty, and it gets that Ohio State offensive drive off track. And it's really been the calling card all year. 3 and 4 for them. Akeem Mesidor, Ruben Bain, they really embody who this defense and who this program is. And time and time again, from the opening possession till the final possession, those two guys were wreaking havoc. And when it mattered the most, when they needed someone to step up, it was the ACC Defensive Player of the Year, a consensus All-American, and going to go down as one of the all-time great Hurricanes, and Ruben Bain stepping up, getting a pass rush and making a play.
Yeah, you know what'll be fun is when he goes to the combine and they say he's got short arms. I'm just going to say,
I don't care about that.
Put on the tape, man.
I don't care. Yeah,
put on the tape. Put on the tape
Hey.
and draft him and just and profit down the line. I'm interested in your perspective on this, Dusty. We see on the sidelines, there's Jimmy Johnson, there's Ray Lewis, there's Michael Irvin. This is Cane royalty. And if you're old enough, and I am, you saw them play in the Orange Bowl when they were just an absolute wrecking ball. But, man, that was a long time ago. And I would think to a degree, Dusty, it's tricky now to try to be what you want to be and create your own identity with those ghosts still very present, still not ghosts. They're still right here in the flesh. And I would think it's hard to embrace that while still saying, man, we're us right now. And I think that what Coach Cristobal has done is really threaded that needle, right? Acknowledge the past, but with respect, say, man, we're not back. We're here right now. How hard do you think that is to do?
That was my opening line in the open. And look, he said he cringes when he's asked the question, is the U back? He straight up said, we ain't going back. We're going forward. We're going into the future. And as you just put it, he told us the U, it is here. And they want to build. They want to grow. This was a massive stepping stone. As Dave Pash put it perfectly, look, this is the biggest win since they won the 01 national championship against Nebraska. They've had ghosts ever since that loss, the 02 national championships to Ohio State. But now the future, it looks very real. And I love the way Mario Cristobal has framed all of this, because you can acknowledge the past and you can pay respect, but Mario Cristobal doesn't want to live in the past. He wants to live in the now and where this program is and where it's headed.
You want this, you got that. No way, watch them walk right past you. Run fast while you have the chance. Don't speak, let